Do they already have things that you're not allowed to talk about for the series?
No, I mean I don't know anything aside from what we've already shot, and I know they're busy writing all the other episodes now as we speak. But we're just meeting each other for the first time in a while, so I haven't even had a chance to talk to Rodney about what's happening next. But I can't talk about the pilot, because that's certainly what I know.
When do you start shooting?
Mid-August. Yeah, up in Vancouver.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it should be fun.
So what drew you to the pilot?
Well, I was on Vampire Diaries at the time, and then I talked to Julie Plec, and she told me that they were going to wrap up the character this season. And so I called my agents, and they sent me a couple scripts to read over the weekend. And Colt was the only one I read from cover to cover. I thought it was great. The other two I wasn't interested in. Monday came around, and they said, well, they want to offer it to you. And so it came up as an offer, as well as the only show that I wanted to do that I had read at the time. So it just was very synchronistic and flowed nicely into Cult. So here we are.
Can you tell us more about your character, what you like about your character?
Yeah, my character is a journalist. He used to be a well-respected journalist at the Post, Washington Post. He's since sort of fallen from grace and now finds himself working at some local paper in Venice, California. When his brother goes missing, his sort of investigative instincts begin to uncover a bunch of clues that his brother has left behind that leads him into this strange world of the Cult, which is a show within the show. That helps explain. Any other questions?
I watched the pilot. It's very freaky, I have to say.
Yeah.
Does it have that vibe for like the rest of the season, do you think?
I mean, I hope so. I mean, it's so layered and complicated. I'm curious to see how they're going to take it. But yeah, I think the idea would be to sustain that level of suspense as much as possible. I'm excited about trying to get the show to reach out to through sort of multimedia as well, to make it a more interactive experience, which I really like about the show. I think it has the potential to really push social media, take the television, push it into social media, involve the audience, and interactive participants. So hopefully there'll be some of that as well. Yeah.
What are some of the stuff that you learned from like the Vampire Diaries going over to TV show?
I like that question. When you work on a show like Vampire Diaries, you're dealing with like supernatural content and a show that's constantly rewriting itself, and it's just always shifting and you're always adapting. And I think for me, after 3 seasons, you get accustomed to how fast television moves and how much it's changing, and so you're not really shaken. And so for me because I was shooting the finale of Vampire Diaries while we were shooting the pilot of Cult, so I was doing both at the same time. And I think that just the experience allowed me to just sort of like flow and let it be what it needs to be. So it just, I think, conditions you to the pace and allows you to sort of rise above it without getting stuck in your head. I don't know if that helps answer your question.
Which do you like better, Vampire Diaries or Cult?
Well, I feel very blessed in that there are 2 very different shows, so that it's going to allow me to explore 2 different worlds completely. I was really sad to leave the Vampire Diaries because I've made a family there. And much to my delight and surprise, the new cast of Cult, I realized, will also be another family. So they're 2 very different shows, 2 very different locations, the content's completely different. And so in that respect, I'm overjoyed for the diversity of it all and see where it will take. I mean, we haven't shot the show yet, so I can't say in the long run how Cult will fare compared to the Vampire Diaries experience, but so far it's prepped to be a really positive experience.
Can you tell us a little bit about your character working with Sky's character and what they're hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, so as my character begins to track down his missing brother, these clues lead him to the set of the show Cult, where he meets and runs into Jessica Lucas's character, Sky, who is an intern who is suspect of the show's internal goings on and realizes that there's something happening underneath the surface with the fans. And so when my character shows up on set trying to get answers to these questions, she sees him, and then they sort of partner up in their mutual suspicion of the show, and that leads them into discovering who's who and where is what, and in the process, I think there's that sort of undercurrent of sexual attraction and potential romance that is yet to be investigated, but is always sort of potentially there.
Fanatical, so fans make television shows. Do you feel like there's kind of a line across how much you can tease that audience, that potential cult audience, versus obviously in the series called the shows the fans are fanatical and you get obsessed.
Yeah.
So is it a tricky line to try to not insult the viewers of the show?
Insult them in which capacity?
By making them too obsessive or too crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I think the show will be interesting in that sense. It'll be I'll be curious to see how it plays with the real audience. Hopefully, they won't be insulted in that respect, but drawn in. It is an interesting concept, though, with social media now and blurring the line between television and what is real and what is television. And I think with the social media as it is now, with the access that fans have to the actors and the characters of the show, it's definitely, the landscape is changing radically. And I like that the show sort of somewhat addresses that in a creative way, even though it's slightly neurotic and paranoid. It'll be I think, an interesting thing to play with.
You got into a lot of physical. Okay, you got into a lot of more like physical action in Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Is that going to be also in cults? I mean, do you see yourself?
I hope so. I don't know if it will reach the level that the Vampire Diaries does, simply because it's not a supernatural show, and I don't think you'll see my character Jeff McCult like running around wielding a stake trying to kill supernatural creatures in the night. So the action.
I don't know. Wait until you meet the fans.
Yeah, right. That's true. So I mean, I think hopefully there'll be some action, but I think it'll be tonally different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.